when Friday night comes and it's time for lighting candles, everything for me pauses. It's just me and Hashem.
I think I just realized in that moment that regardless of the role that I play here in this world, it's vital.
If no one else is going to make a change to connect the family strongly to our Judaism, then I don't see a way for things to continue forward.
Weil das ist auch die drei Mitzvot, in welchen a Schleisha Almudim, was allein Beis Yisrael einmet. Weil das ist der Linie von Tares HaMishpacha und der Linie von Kashrus Achilu Shtiya und der Linie von Adnochas Neres Shabbos wie Yom Tov.
I didn't know anything about it. The word mikvah never even entered my vocabulary as a young person. As my relationship started progressing with my now husband, I started learning more about it. When we got engaged and married, Remy and Nisa Yarmish became our guides to preparing for marriage, and one of the aspects of that was getting prepared for the mikvah. I will never forget my first immersion, which took place in Haifa, high up on the mountain in a gorgeous mikvah.
My first time making challah on my own was 2 years ago at my first ever challah bake. When I signed up and I walked through the door, I really just thought I was learning how to braid bread. And I could not have been more wrong.
Shabbat candles, for whatever reason, it's a mitzvah that I have never missed. I don't believe I've ever missed lighting Shabbat candles, no matter if we're traveling or whatever it is. My participation in Mitzvot has ebbed and flowed since I was a little girl. I can remember lighting candles with my mom. The interesting thing is I don't so much remember the lighting of the candles, but I so much remember that she taught me to bring the Shabbat in like this, right? And that's what my biggest memory is. And I think I even breathed in the Shabbat.
Ich darf von zwischen den Mitzvahs an Mitzvah, was sie macht lichtig mit der Mitzvah-Lichtigkeit, wo sie sich zusammen damit lichtig, am Zertas Beine Bosser und der Zertes, und der Zert echt a viel nitid, wenn geht durch den Gas und durch ein Fenster, als brennen nere Shabbos und nere Yom Tov, das a Lichtigkeit, was macht lichtig du Huis, und durch ein Fenster des Eiro, Jesel, Lechol, Oilom, geht alles die Lichtigkeit echt in Welt. Von wem hebt sich auch noch die Lichtigkeit von der Shei Ubneis Yisrael.
When I was little, it was just the Hebrew words that I would say, the blessing and the bringing in Shabbat. And then as I grew into, a mom, I brought more significance for this ritual. So my candelabra has 5. It's, for my husband and myself and my 3 sons. I also took on a custom from Sturdy that I love, which is giving tzedakah, physically giving tzedakah. After I say the bracha of lighting candles, lehadlik ner shel Shabbat Kodesh, I cover my eyes, keep them covered, I should say. I thank Hashem for all the gifts that I have. I thank Hashem for my husband. And I thank Hashem from the bottom of my heart for all of my family that came before me and brought me to this place.
That inspired me to bring more purpose to my own marriage and purpose into how I educate my children. Everything kind of snowballed in a positive way, one into the other. And it just led, if I'm doing this core activity, which is the foundation of the Jewish family, what else can I attach that to?
I'm not sure I was completely conscious of what I was doing. The next week I made challah, I lit Shabbos candles, and from then on, that's how it was. It just became a part of my life. But in the beginning, I was so worried about, is my bread perfect? Is it too sticky? Is it too dry? Do my braids look nice? And so it was very mundane. It was just doing something. And then over time, it was truly about connection. It was this time where I got to pray, I got to daven, I sang, I cried. It started out simple, and then it became just this like very vital and important part of my week. It was the doorway of mitzvahs. So it started with challah, and then it was lighting Shabbos candles, keeping Shabbos, walking, studying, all of that. But ultimately what it taught me was to be aware of Hashem in even the simple moments, even when you're making bread, when you're checking your email or going to work. If you bring that into your life, then that's the truest way you can live your life.
Von heutige Woche, von dem Abschluss von Convention, wird gegeben, erzählt und gegeben mit Brocken, die Mitzvot von Challah, wo das ist doch übergegeben geworden zu jeder jüdischen Frau, was sie soll das beobtet geben Challah, und da soll sein Reiches Arisse Seicher. Da soll sein der Onyx und jetzt wieder essen und trinken in Ruhe. Soll man wissen sein, als zumal im Mächten die Torim und Trumal Hashem gibt mir noch ein paar Teil von dem Ebersten zu dem Ebersten und nächster noch tracht Jid, was soll haben, nehmen von der Welt auf das, was darf haben, für sein Aufhalten, für das Aufhalten von der Sprache, von den Kindern und Kindskindern.
I was very involved in professional sports, and I was always chasing the next tournament, the next gold medal, the next whatever, seeking validation from the external world. And after challah and taking on mitzvot and bringing Hashem into my world, I realized that while those things were good, it wasn't connection. It wasn't true. It wasn't true for me. It wasn't true for my home. When you do a sport or you do anything, whether it's work or anything you're passionate about, but mundane nonetheless, you are always reaching for something. And then you get that thing, and then you're like, what now? It's nothing ever feels like enough. And so for me, I knew that couldn't have been my truth. And so thankfully, challah was the thing that introduced me to this. I knew that connection, whether it was with my family or Hashem or anything, was my truth. And it started with challah, and over time, it seeped into every part of my life. So when I got these moments still happen, that I know they're great, but they're not it.
Turned out I had a giant cell tumor, a tumor growing in my leg, and it was non-cancerous at the time, and I needed to have a surgery to have that tumor removed. Over time, a very short amount of time, the tumor grew back to 4 inches, and I needed to have an amputation of my leg. People were asking, how are you handling this in such a calm manner? And as I thought about it, I imagine that my candlelighting, my weekly official meeting with Hashem, brought me so close. I believe that just my connection with Hashem, the one who helps me, the one who I'm comfortable speaking with every single Friday for my whole life, when you build a connection, think about a connection with your best friend. You don't have to rebuild just because you're going to have surgery. That's who you're going to have with you, right? Your closest go-to person. When I was being wheeled, the person that was wheeling me said, "You're going to be okay." And I said, "Thank you so much." I says, "I'm not afraid." I said, "God is with me." And he says, "You really are going to be okay." As I was learning how to live with an amputation, straight away I went into months of chemotherapy, and it was pretty intense chemotherapy. I just feel Hashem is with me.
My most important experience at the mikvah came after October 7th. I had 3 beautiful children at the time, thank God, and I felt so useless. I didn't know what I could do. A realization had really come to me that what is the most powerful thing that I can do? I can contribute to our people. Like, this is something that is so unique to us. This is the power that I have, not only to contribute, but to nurture and bring a Jewish life to the Jewish people in honor of those that did not survive October 7th. It was in January for my first immersion. I just felt like I had one ask and one prayer in my heart, which was, let me do this. And I'm so blessed that Hashem listened and said, all right, yes, now is the time. Let's do it. This is her. She was born October 11th, which does not, like, I'm so thankful that I got the gift. And yeah, I'm so thankful that she's here.
Und das, was Tero hat gegeben früher, die größte Sache, was sie kann sein. Wo die größte Sache, was sie da bei Geikodisch und bei der Geh zu Tero, Ziva, Lon und Mesche, auf 100 Dollar, was sie gewinnt bei Matten Tero, soll zukommen ein Dorf, was wird gehen in dieselbe Weg. Und danach von dem zweiten Dorf zukommen ein dritter Dorf, was sie tun sind. Was sie kann sein ein Dorf, die Jahre den Teil, was sie gestanden bei Matten Tero, muss man noch kommen zu früh.